I am alive and it's good to be alive, and this is going to be a bit of a rant video, to be honest with you guys. So before I get into it, I just want to say that everything I'm going to state in this video, it's really just my opinion. If you have a different opinion than me, that's totally fine. I don't think you're stupid. I don't disrespect you. Hopefully you will feel the same towards me. It's really just people like, enjoy, and they dislike different things, because we're all different, so it's whatever. I'm just going to be expressing my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right or wrong, doesn't mean you're right or wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you guys how I feel about certain things. So PoE, Plains of Eidolon, is coming out, and it could not look cooler. It looks really damn cool. I'm super excited for it. Probably one of the coolest things they've ever added to Warframe, like in the history of the game, to be honest. It's kind of a big deal, but along with it, there are some changes coming, and one of the more notable changes is that the focus system is getting pretty much completely destroyed and reworked. Now, I do and don't like this. Let's be honest. For the most part, I absolutely hate this, and I'm going to tell you why I hate it. There's a lot of people that are totally fine with it, and I get that. There are some things about it that I'm fine with, but for the most part, I think it's a horrible mistake, and I'm really not looking forward to it. Reason being that, for those of you who aren't familiar, let's start off with this. The focus system is essentially, once you complete the second dream quest, you then access a skill tree called the focus system, and basically you can work your way towards unlocking nodes that give you different passive abilities and buffs to your overall character. It does not matter what Warframe you're playing as or what weapons you're using, you will always receive those buffs. For example, one skill tree gives you increased critical chance on your melee by a small percentage. You know, it might be plus 2% crit chance on melee. That is no matter what melee weapon you are using. I absolutely loved the focus system for its concept of just drastically improving the strength of your overall profile. Not just for, like, you know, oh, this Warframe got stronger, this one weapon got stronger. It increased your strength and your combat effectiveness just overall in the entire game, no matter what you were doing. I thought the concept of that was really cool. That is very appealing to me. Was it the best system? No. Certain skill trees drastically outweighed others and overshadowed them. The most notable ones being Xenuric and Naramon. So essentially, Naramon's best skill would allow you to turn invisible for a few seconds every time you got a crit hit with your melee. And then Xenuric, which is what I have, actually allows me to regen 4 energy per second. So if you look down at my energy bar, you'll notice it says 37 energy, and then after activating my focus skill, I don't actually regen energy that fast. It's just because I'm standing in this pool that increases it even more. But if I step outside this, you'll see my energy is going up fairly quickly. I regen 4 energy per second, which is really, really fucking nice. You could argue that this is broken. That's completely understandable. I, however, don't think it's broken, simply because being able to use my powers more frequently does not make me invincible. You know, if you're playing as like, oh, Loki Master Race, and you're just going to be invisible all the time, whatever, I don't play like that. But that's part of the problem, is not everyone plays like me. I'm sure some people exploit this, or maybe they're in an entire squad where everyone's Xenuric and they find some, like, you know, just total bullshit way to play the game that's just really boring, and then the devs have to nerf it, you know, stuff like that, which is fine. But I'm the only person in my entire Warframe clan that has Xenuric. So I've never felt like it's OP. Because if I'm doing higher end content, there's still like Eximus and enemies that drain my energy. It doesn't just, you know, go against my energy regen. It completely negates my energy regen and then starts to decrease my energy. So things like that still function as intended. So I still have to strategically kill those. God, I can't aim for crap today. I still have to strategically kill enemies to try and keep my energy up. I've honestly really enjoyed this. It has completely changed how I play the game. I don't want to admit that. I don't want to admit that it's been a crutch to me, but it has. I mean, ever since the second Dream Quest came out, which is, God, a long time ago, I was the kind of person that I always had Streamline, and I always had Energy Siphon on my Warframes, just because I love using the Warframe's powers. That's Warframe's most unique abilities. All Warframes have energy shielding, all Warframes have health. Yes, they look a little different, but the most unique and cool drawing aspect about them is their powers, and I could just never use mine enough. I was never happy with it. I was finally happy with how frequently I could cast my powers, and also because I hated Blind Rage because it's terrible for your Warframe's energy efficiency. It makes your powers stronger at the cost of more energy. I was like, well, screw that. I want to be able to cast my powers pretty frequently. So I would always focus on these weaker sort of crowd control builds, you know. And they were fun, but, you know, I got kind of tired of them. Well, once I got this +4 energy per second, I was like, well, fuck it. I started experimenting with Blind Rage, having a ton of fun with that. So this is actually my Blind Rage Hydroid build. And it's really cool because, you know, I can cast powers from his puddle, consumes quite a bit of energy, but then when I stop casting powers, I have a little bit of energy regen. I don't have to entirely rely on energy orbs, which in case you haven't looked around, there's not really piss all for energy orbs, and it's kind of a really just unreliable random source of determining when I'll be able to cast my powers, and that does kind of bother me a bit. And there's a lot of people saying, oh, we'll just craft and use energy pads. You know, there's a lot of builds I have that are only fun or really just like actually doable because I have this +4 energy regen. I feel like deployables in this game, such as like here I have a health pad, here I have energy pads. I feel like those should be like a, oh no, I'm taking a lot more damage right now. Like I'm getting hit hard and I need a quick get out. You know, I need some help. So you deploy some health pylons. Like you're not gonna use them all the time, but you're like, oh man, I got hit hard for whatever reason. That I can totally see using deployables. But if you need deployables to make your build usable and manageable so that you can actually cast your powers and stuff when you need to cast them, I think that's fucked up, and I think that's wrong. Like, take my Blind Rage Chroma, for example. He's going to suffer the most from this. With the +4 energy per second I have on my Blind Rage Chroma build, essentially, by the time both Vex Armor and Elemental Ward wear off, I have literally just barely enough energy to recast them almost as soon as they end. And it's beautiful. It is the most wonderful Warframe build I have ever crafted. It is my most favorite. Chroma has become my new favorite Warframe to play as because of it. I have really high power strength. And as long as nothing saps my energy and I pick up at least one energy orb during the like 60 seconds that my powers last, I can just keep using them, and it's a ton of fun, and it's really cool. And here's what pisses me off most about removing that, is here's what they're gonna have the new focus system focus on. Your operator. Now, I am all for making the operator stronger, because right now, look at him, he's got 100 health, 97 right now because I've already been blasted by one of these level 3 tards, but he's got like almost no health. He's got a mediocre at best damage beam weapon coming out of his hand. I mean, it's okay. And, you know, I mainly just use them for utility. Like, people say, oh, well, you can strip the, you know, enemies of the resistances and stuff. So that's cool. The operator's really just a utility item for me right now. Not really a combat option. They're going to have the focus tree almost entirely pinpointed on your operators now and boosting them. And my question is, why? Don't get me wrong, when Plains of Eidolon comes out, they're going to have operator armors and weapons that you can craft. That's fucking awesome. It's about time. I'm all for that. But having the entire focus system, like, it's hard for me to get excited about that. Because right now, this guy, there's shit. I mean, there's no reason I'm going to use him instead of this operator. Or instead of my Warframe, sorry. There's absolutely no reason I'm going to like, oh yeah, let's go kick, you know, Infinite Grenier ass with my operator instead of my Warframe. And I'm also confused by this change in direction because it's like, I'm all for the operators. The concept that you don't actually pilot your Warframes, the fact that you pilot them kind of with your mind via void energy and all that shit. I think it's cool, but I think they're focusing a little too much on it now because it's like our Warframes are supposed to be our weapons and our armor and what protects us and how we fight. So, you know, if you want to give the operators like a little more combat effectiveness just so that when we do have to use them, they aren't shit, you know, they can actually, you know, hold their own, I think that's cool. But having an entire upgrade system dedicated to them when I could just have something that makes my Warframes and my actual weapons that I'm going to be using stronger, that's a bit of a disappointment to me. I mean, understand it from my perspective. It's so hard to get excited about a system that makes me stronger right now is being removed in favor of making my operator better when they're already giving them craftable weapons and armor. It's like, I feel like that's a poor excuse for the focus system. That's definitely not what I wanted to happen to it. I always knew. They said the focus system was always going to be fluctuated. It was never, not to say it was never permanent. The focus system was always going to exist, but they said it was going to change over time, you know. So I was expecting, like, maybe nerfs and buffs to it here and there. Maybe changing some things up. I think, honestly, a better solution would have just been making the other focus trees better instead of making the two best ones suck. Now, I do think the turning invisible every time you get a critical hit with melee, I do think that's a bit overpowered, because if you're invisible, enemies aren't even shooting at you. Nullifier bubbles do not turn off your invisibility, so you can just run around invisible all damn day. That's a bit cheap, basically. You have no reason to play as Loki or any other stealth frame. You just need a melee weapon that can get a critical hit every now and then, which isn't hard to do at all. But with my energy, like I said, it just allows me to cast my powers more frequently. That's really all it does. And the reason it bothers me they're taking it away is because all we've fucking had for a long time is Streamline. I mean, it's just, we do have another efficiency mod, but oh my god. It's just, it decreases your effectiveness so much, and it's very frustrating. Like, I don't understand why they're taking the focus system, which is something that made your overall player experience stronger. It just made you more powerful a little bit, no matter what you were using. I was such a fan of that concept. And they're applying it to this guy. Like, why are we putting that much focus on the operators? Like, what? At what point do you guys want me to run around as him now and fight instead of my Warframe? I mean, like, I feel like even with these buffs, I'm still I'm never gonna be like, oh, what, this Warframe that fucking summons a giant tentacle piece, like, fucking bombard rain and can, you know, fucking become a tidal wave? Oh, here, nah, fuck that, that's lame. Let me jump out and play as an angsty teen with a Mega Man cannon. Like, I feel like I'm never gonna, like, just totally prefer to play as my operator over a Warframe. Like, there's no way. Now, granted, take this with a grain of salt, you guys. I am bitching right now, but yeah, we really don't have it yet, so we have no idea how it'll work, how it'll be. It might not be that bad, but so far, the focus change, at least, I'm disappointed in that. If you wanted to decrease my energy regen, okay, decrease it to 3 or 2 energy a second. It's still a blow, but I can work with that. You want to make, you know, you want to take Naramon's invisibility every time they get a critical hit, maybe turn it into something else. Maybe only if you red crit, or, you know, something else. Maybe the invisibility doesn't last as long. Maybe nullifier bubbles can turn it off. You know, things like that. Or maybe the second you, no, I don't think that. I was going to say the second you shoot a gun, you decloak, or the second you attack, you decloak, but that would kind of make it pointless because you're melee fighting in the first place. But, I don't know. It's really hard for me to get behind that, you guys. I think it's kind of shit. I'm really disappointed that my overall profile, my overall character as I am in Warframe, everything I've collected, I'm going to be a little weaker now. Also, this little fuck can be a little stronger, which I'm not going to use anyways. The game is called Warframe. You're supposed to use Warframes as your weapons. They're your suit of armor, they're your sword and shield. And again, like I said, I'm all in favor of the operators getting armor and actual craftable weapons. I hope they come with stats with them, you know, so that you're not just this little... Look, I'm already dead. So you're not just this squishy dweeb with 100 health. But man, dedicating an entire system to them, why? like, I would have been happy if they just had mods for them, kind of like you know, let us mod them to have more health, give them some energy shielding, you know, things like that. Damn, yeah, that really disappoints me, and that really sucks. I mean, I'm never gonna. I mean, why? Why try to make the operator so cool that you're going to, like, I don't know. I think the hardest thing they're going to have a time with in the community is getting people to actually want to play as the operator instead of their Warframe. I mean, we've been playing as our Warframes for years. It's The game is called Warframe. They're going to keep coming out with new Warframes, and we're going to keep collecting them. If we're just going to keep this one operator and just upgrade him to be a badass and perfectly capable of fighting, why would we unlock new Warframes, you know? And I know that's an overstatement. Warframes are very utility-based. They have a lot of great functions. You're still going to want to collect them. I'm over-exaggerating that a bit, but it's just... I can't wrap my head around why they would make that decision. You want to nerf the skill trees or you want to change them, that's fine. But to benefit... Oh, man, I'm sorry. I'm repeating myself, but it's just... Like, why? Why the hell would they do that? And make no mistake, I do not hate DE. I'm not, you know, oh, damn it, DE, you're idiots. I love Digital Extremes. I love Warframe. I love this game. I'm always going to play this game. This game is fantastic. Even with this super shitty, completely unagreeable decision they're making right here, I'm still going to have fun playing their game, and I'm still going to see where they take it, and I'm still going to support them. I think they make a great game. I'm just really disappointed in this particular decision. It's fine. You know, they're not wrong. I'm not wrong. We just have different opinions of how we want things to go and what we think is the better decision here. But yeah, I see plenty of people, oh, you crybabies and the Xenuric and Naramon are finally getting nerfed. I get it. I completely understand why you think one or both of those skill trees should be nerfed. Really, I do understand. But, just understand why I'm pissed off about it. It's not just because you're removing it. It's because you're replacing it with something that is, in my opinion, stupid and possibly something I'm never even gonna use that often. I mean, just... Damn, like that's really disappointing. Like, I don't know. I think it's too much focus on the operators. But anyways, I'm just reiterating myself over and over again now. But let me know for sure in the comments section what you guys think, and don't be assholes. You know, don't just be like, oh, well, you're dumb or wag it, or you know, like, just give me your opinion. Just fucking state some facts. Tell me what you think and why. You know, be like, yeah, I think it's okay they're nerfing it, or be like, you know, yeah, I think it's okay they're nerfing it, but I do think it sucks, you know, something like that. Or whatever you think. Maybe you're just completely okay with it. Maybe you hate it like I do. Just let me know down in the comments section. Anyways, I probably missed something because in a rant video, I'm not very well collected. I was thinking about this a lot last night, just like, why? Why are they doing this? Why are you trying to put so much focus on the operators? We don't even play as them yet. Like... we don't even have the armor or the weapons for them yet. I have no idea if I want to actually use them, let alone have a whole bunch of fucking buffs and shit I'm used to just disappear so that my stupid little human can be stronger when I have perfectly capable warframes, guns, and melee weapons to do the work for me. Anyways, you guys, I hope this video was entertaining at least. I hope you all have a kick-ass day. And again, if you disagree with me, no sweat. Honestly, no resentment towards you. These are just my opinions. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.